Welcome everyone, welcome to another awesome video. Jason here together with Mr. Lawrence from Abundance Income in Canada. Okay, so thanks to Mr. Lawrence, he's agreed to do this interview where we're just going to speak more on business. So I want to start by asking you, Mr. Lawrence, what businesses have you done? What did you start? What business did you start? Which different businesses have you done? And what have you achieved?
Early in my career, in my teens, I started in a manufacturing of ladies' garments in Bombay, India.
In India.
And I was extremely successful there. So successful that I had the courage in my early 30s to leave India with my 6 children and go to Canada. In Canada, I couldn't start a business because 50 years ago, India didn't have the foreign currency to take abroad. And Indian rupees were not good enough to start a business. So through my good fortune, I met people that got me into the world of finances. That's the most lucrative industry on the face of the earth. You go to any city, the tallest towers happen to be the banks. So they're making money on the backs of people who don't understand money. And so it's very, very important to understand money. Now, our education system is good only if you want a job. Parents encourage their kids, go and get a good education, you'll get a good job. Now, to me, a job, a J-O-B, stands for just over broke.
Just over broke.
Just over broke.
All right.
So if you want to become rich or wealthy, you cannot do that on a job. If you make more money, you pay more taxes. You live in a bigger house. You buy a bigger car. The only way to get ahead financially is to be in business for yourself.
So now I wanted, because before we started, you told me you achieved something in India with the clothing. How far did it go in India at that time? Well, in terms of rankings, was there any sort of ranking like that?
We were one of the top manufacturers in ladies' garments in India.
In India, where there's a huge population.
Well, to the Western taste population, because I come from Goa, which was Portuguese for 500 years. So we had a lot of the Western culture, but the rest of India didn't have. So the advantage we have, whatever designs we made, people liked Western designs, bought it.
Then you said you got into the world of finance, and you're explaining to me that you made it to the $1 million round table, something of that in business. What is that about?
When I went to Canada, like I said, through my good fortune, I met certain people who got me into the world of finances, which I knew nothing about. But I studied it enough to see how I could offer the services, the products to the consumer. And I was the first person in the history of Canada Life, an insurance company, the first person to qualify for what is called a $1 million round table. That's an international organization, not a company thing, nothing to do with a country. It's an international organization to which 2% or 3% agents in any given year qualify for. And the vast majority of agents don't make MDRT even one time in their entire 20, 30 years of career. But the fact that I did it in the first year, it sent shockwaves through the whole company. Got me all pumped up. Then I had to perform to not make it look like it was a fluke. So the second year I did it again. The third year I did it again. It kind of almost became a habit. Now once you do that, MDRT, for 10 years in a row, they make you a life member. So I'm one of those very few agents around the world who's a life member of the $1 million round table. That's a huge check.
And as we know, Abundance Income, you are dealing in real estate, so that's another business.
Yeah. Now the success that I had, to me, was a big mistake because what I was doing was only working for money and making lots and lots of money. But when I retired in my 60s, I started thinking of how do I invest money instead of make money. And that's when I stumbled into the real estate business. I found that the banks give you money to buy property. the tenants pay the rent, and the tax department gives you another break for. So I said, wow, that's a big bonanza with the bank helping you, the tax department helping you, and the tenants helping you. So I jumped into buying rental properties in the US, in Florida, Niagara Falls. So today I hold a lot of properties.
So now if we have someone who says, I have a business, what's the best way for them to market their business?
Well,
What is marketing
every business
anyway?
is different. And the only people who succeed in business are those who are very creative. And unfortunately, creativity is lacking. So those who are creative, they can take something as simple as hamburgers and sell it worldwide. See what McDonald's has done.
Yes.
Ray Kroc was no genius, but he took a simple thing like hamburgers and started selling it worldwide. Starbucks, coffee bean. It's an international business. So really, business is easy if you're creative. Now, speaking of real estate, it's even easier because the bank gives you the money, the tenants pay the mortgage, and the tax department gives you a tax break over and above that. So that's a business in itself.
Now, there's something else which I wanted to ask is like, if someone is an entrepreneur, yes, we know of the real estate and all that, but let's say someone has a business. What do you say are the most important skills for a business leader, an entrepreneur? What are the most important skills? You did mention creativity, but what else from your experience? What are the key skills?
In my opinion, the first thing you need to be is a hard worker. Business is not easy. You have to work very hard. Number two, if you're doing a business, always look for a business that is scalable. In other words, something that you can duplicate.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're selling coffee and you can have 500 coffee shops, you got a business that's going to make lots of money. Not on the coffee, but on the ability to scale it up. Okay.
So now in business, we understand leadership is key. So how would you define leadership? And for leaders out there in business, what role does leadership play? And what's most important in leadership in business?
Well, leadership is very important, but people only follow a leader who's successful. So first you must find something that can make you successful. Then you'll have a big following. And you'll develop the leadership skills as you start growing.
Right. Okay. So as well as leadership, we understand that businesses, they need teamwork. So what's your advice on how can someone build a team to work together? Because at times in a business, you find not everyone is pulling together.
Again, like I said, if you got a business which you are running, you'll never grow. If you want a business that's going to grow, then you have to have a team. You have to develop the skills because you cannot grow a business by yourself. You see, and today with technology, it's so much easier. There's so many opportunities globally in any country that you can start a business and scale it up. The technology is powerful. And from my observation, the young people have the opportunity of using technology and growing very fast. Guys and gals in their 20s and 30s are going to change the world for the better.
So now in business, you say you've got quite a bit of experience in business. How do you say someone can measure success in business? How can they measure success in their business?
Success is different things to different people. You know, to some people, having a business which is freedom is success. To others, making more and more and being able to expand at will is success. To others, just the satisfaction of offering a service to the consumer is success. Money is never the success. Money is just a means to an end.
Okay. So now we understand like goodwill or the name of a business. How can someone develop a reputation? You know, a good reputation, like say Coca-Cola, they've got a reputation, a good reputation, something like that. How can someone build that reputation and trust in their business?
Branding, a brand of a company, a brand of a name is very important. You know, somebody asked, Jeff Bezos, why did you name your company Amazon?
Yeah.
And he said, well, because Amazon is the largest river on the planet. And he already had a vision that he wants to build a company that's the largest in the world.
Wow.
So he made that his brand, Amazon. You know. So McDonald's, Ray Kroc bought a company from McDonald's and he kept that name and became a brand. He didn't call his company Ray Kroc.
Kept that brand.
He kept that brand. And branding is very important if you want to scale up your business.
So you have to keep that brand, develop that brand. And how do you think, or what's your advice on someone who says they want to scale their business, they want to grow their business? What are the key points in that to grow a business?
Well, you cannot scale up a business if what you have as a business is complicated.
All right.
Okay. A doctor cannot scale up what he's doing. It takes a specialized person to be a doctor.
Exactly.
But if you're selling coffee, you don't need a specialist to make coffee. So you can open up 1 store or 100 stores or 1,000 stores. So the simpler the business is, the more scalable it is. So keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Keep it real.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I wanted to know from you, what's the best business advice you've ever been given, or maybe someone has once given you some advice, or maybe just a quote from someone or word which really touched you and gave you that drive in business?
I was fortunate enough to be in a family, 4 generations in business.
Okay.
So I can't take credit for being in business by myself. But people who want to be in business have to look around and see businesses that have succeeded. And if they like the success, they have to look into themselves. What can they do? What can they offer the consumer? And the more they can offer the consumer, the bigger the business they'll have. Never look for a business, how much money can I make? You'll never make it. If you can have a business, how can I offer more? Like Amazon, it's become the biggest company in the world only because they found a way to offer more people, more goods, cheaper and faster than anyone else.
So in other words, the goal shouldn't be just the money, but providing a product, providing
That's
a
it.
service.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's quite good. If there's anything else you wanted to add, maybe some advice to business people out there.
Over the years, I worked very, very hard, and that was a mistake. I made a lot of money, but that was a mistake. Only in my retirement, I learned that I could be in business with real estate and not work with zero work. Painlessly, I could make income through having real estate syndications.
All right. So we have got some videos on that if you want to know more about abundance income and real estate syndications and that. But I trust this video, it helped you, those who are in business. If you want to know more about passive income and that, make sure you check some of the other videos that are here. Thank you so much.